Hi, I'm Jenna, and this is episode 42. I wanted to take a quick minute here right off the bat. I'm sure several of you, I can't say all, but I'm sure several of you, by the time you see this, have heard about the passing of Carrie, who is Knit Pearl Girl of the Knit Pearl Girl podcast. And I really want to take time and send my condolences out to friends and family. I can't even imagine what they're going through at this moment. I was never able to meet Carrie in person, but I did have many great conversations with her through personal messaging on Ravelry and Plurk, and I was trying to think of one word. If I could describe Carrie in one word, what would it be? And to me, that word is kind. You can be a lot of things, but if you're smart and you're funny and you're pretty and you're not kind, the rest of it gets lost. So Carrie was smart and beautiful and a smile that could light up a room. But to me, most of all, I will remember her for her kindness and for starting on Tuesdays the random active patterns that I was generously given by Carrie. I received 2 patterns from her, and just the thoughtfulness that she had for everybody in the knitting community, and like I said, just watching her on the podcast, and I always enjoyed her, and she will be greatly missed. And I think in all of this, it's the first time I've had somebody out in the cyber world that I have had a connection with that has passed, and to see how the whole community is coming together is really an amazing thing to witness and to be a part of. And I think all of you out there who have taken the time to post things in her group, because at some point her family might be able to go and see just how much she meant to the knitting community, and that blows my mind. Try not to cry. There's been enough crying these last couple days. I'm glad I don't record on Tuesdays because I don't think I could have yesterday. But today I'm trying to be composed and get something done today, because I don't know anybody who got anything done yesterday. I heard the news right before I went to bed on Monday, and needless to say, I did not sleep. So I wanted to talk about a knit-along. There's a knit-along going on in the Knit Pearl Girl group on Ravelry. Actually, I think it's Friends of Knit Pearl Girl. Because besides being a podcaster and all the other amazing things she did, she also was a designer. And it was discussed, I think it started on Plurk, and then it moved on to Ravelry about having a knit-along with her crosswords at the coffee shop, which is this beautiful shawl by Carrie. And I believe it's $5 as a download on Ravelry. And the wonderful thing is, if you go and you buy any of Carrie's shawls, she has 3 paid for shawls and 2 free ones, that the money is going to go to her family and help them out. So, like I said, there's knit-alongs in other groups as well. I don't see the need for me to do one. There's one going on in her group, and I think that's where it matters, that if you're going to post a picture and knit along, to post it there. Like I said, what a legacy she's able to leave behind by having all of these videos that her children will be able to one day go back and watch. I think that's a wonderful thing. Having lost a parent, I would give anything to be able to go back and hear my dad's voice. Because there are no video. Never. My dad was definitely not one for being on camera at all. He didn't even really like his picture taken. That was like pulling teeth. So since, we had heard that Carrie had passed on Monday, And of course, the best way to follow the legacy that she was trying to leave, it was Random Act of Pattern Tuesday, and myself, as many others, went out and gifted people patterns on Ravelry. It can be, you know, if you're a designer, you can gift your patterns if you don't have the money to gift, you know, paid patterns, or, you know, there's all different price ranges, and, you know, we did it, you know, in memory of Carrie, and the generosity that I saw yesterday was spectacular. I mean, she would have been so proud to see that her little dream that she started, I think she's only been doing like the Random Act of Patterns like, what, a month and a half, that how big it had gotten. And I was, along with giving patterns, I was the recipient of some as well, and I want to thank those people and show you the patterns that I got, because it's just, anytime someone takes the time to think of me and to gift me something, I always want to show my gratitude, because I really am grateful. So I want to thank Same Old Knit, and I know people do not do this for the praise, but like I said, I have a forum where I can publicly thank these people, and I hope that's fine on their part, because I didn't ask. I'll be honest. The other pattern I have, it was the only pattern I didn't have of Carrie's, was Walnut Grove, and it's this beautiful shawl. I remember seeing Steve of Dramatic Knits test knit this, and it is really beautiful. And then, let's see, try to do this quickly. From Kinder Info, I was gifted, it's loading. I swear my internet connection's been a little slow. The October Leaves Fingerless Mitts from Rush Hour Knitting. They used orange, and I'm sure that's part of the reason why I fell in love with them. But it has this cable, and by the thumb, it cables and then splits into 2 leaves. See, alright, here's the pattern. I'll try to make this picture bigger so you can see the detail, because I like things with leaf motifs. I know leaf motifs have been kind of overused lately, but I still can't help but to love them. And then from No Loose Ends, I was gifted And So Are You, which is this beautiful shawl. I really like that. I saw one made out of Twisted Fiber Arts Evolution, so it fades from one color to the other. And it was stunning. I have a skein of Twisted Fiber Arts somewhere, so I just might use that. And then from Maddie's mama, Lori, who is amazing and tests knits for me often, is the Mormorio by Heather Zapetti. And I love this pattern. This is in my queue towards the top, and I definitely want to make it. I had bought a skein of yarn that's like blues and greens and oranges and yellows from LYS, and I want to get some natural colored yarn as the accent. So I cannot wait to knit this. I will probably be casting this on shortly after Christmas, because right now it's all about the Christmas knitting. So a huge thank you to all of you wonderful ladies who gifted me a pattern. I really appreciate it so very much. And it was totally unnecessary, but like I said, just thank you. Speaking of Carrie, and then there's the knit along with the crosswords at the coffee shop. Before Carrie passed away, she was working on crocheted little snowflakes for her Christmas tree, and I remember her seeing her post them on Plurk as she finished them, and What I didn't know, and I don't think anyone really knew until after she had passed away, her bestie had posted that the reason she was making those snowflakes was because in their move from Pennsylvania to Vermont, that their Christmas decorations got lost. So there was then an idea of knitting, crocheting, tatting, needle felting, I think some people were doing, and making snowflakes for their Christmas tree. And then the snowflakes will be sent to her bestie, and she will then present them to the family. So last night I was on a VKN. Oh, I was on there. Who else was on there? The Stockinette Zombies and Coggy, and there were a couple ladies who I didn't know, and I am so bad with names. You can tell me your name 10 times and I'll probably forget. And there was Susan of Girl Cave Bags, and so there were a couple. Oh, and Nancy, who is she's Knit Jazz, and then she's Knit Jazzy on Plurk and Ravelry, and I was getting mixed up. But anyway, so it was really nice because we were able to go and kind of just support and comfort each other and talk about what was going on and how we were feeling, and that was so just great. That, like I said, that community. The community is just mind-blowing to me, because I don't know that I'd say I didn't expect it, but I didn't know what would happen and something like this happened. So while I was VKNing last night, I had first finished this cream-colored snowflake after dinner, and then while I was VKNing, I did this whole blue one. So the pattern is from a Knit and Crochet Today, November, December of 2008. So it's kind of an older magazine. I think that might have been like their second Christmas magazine, because I think they started in 2007. Anyways, you're supposed to use crochet thread and a size 7 steel crochet hook. Yeah, that's not happening. I don't own any crochet thread, and I might have a 7. I have a few little hooks that I picked up on clearance somewhere once. I couldn't even tell you where. But, could I find any of them? No. So I use Knit Picks palette. This one's cream and this one's sky. Now they're not blocked yet, but I wanted to show you today because my plan is to block them while this is uploading and send them out this weekend, because they need to be received. I can't remember if they need to be received by or sent by December 8th. So, I mean, if you send them after that, that's fine. They'll still get forwarded to the family. But they're going to try to present all of them together with the family. So, these are mine. And I used a size C crochet hook. So, it's still small, but it's not teeny tiny. And they'll be pretty generously sized snowflakes. So, but Carrie's, the one she had made before she passed, were bright colors. There was like a hot pink one and a navy blue and a bright blue and a white, and so I thought, well, they complement each other nice. They're the same but different. And those are 2 of my 7 finished objects. So moving on fully into finished objects, I'm going to talk about the knit along stuff later. Gosh, I feel like I'm saying a lot. I apologize. And I have no notes because I have to fly by the seat of my pants because I don't do well scripting things. And then I'm going to bring back the Q&A next week because a lot of people really seem to like that. I've gotten a lot of PMs on Ravelry about it and posts. So we'll bring that back next week. I'm trying to keep this like way under an hour. I don't have a ton to show, but at the same time I do. So I have 2 finished objects you can't see because they are pattern samples. The pattern is done. It has been tested. I'm just waiting on the yarn to knit my last sample, and the pattern will be out in December. So I'm excited that it's ready to go. So then the other finished object I have is I finished the socks for the boy. That's what I call them on my project page. They're the For the Boys socks. Because I didn't know what to call them. Like I said, this is just my pattern. I kind of just made them to fit him, and there's not a pattern you can get anywhere. So the striped part is Dancing Dog Dye Works in the C is for Cookie stripe colorway. And then the heel and the toes, because he wanted blue and orange striped socks. Now, I don't know where I can get blue and orange striped yarn, and I didn't have time to really hunt for it, and I surely did not have time to do a custom order if it couldn't have been sent out like right away. So this is just what, bright orange I think is that color. So they're not quite exactly what he had in mind, but I think they'll work. So they're done. Christmas gift off the list. I'm thrilled. Then speaking of Christmas gifts, I really wanted to make my husband a hat because he likes hats, especially in the winter. So he didn't ask for a new one this year because he has like a half dozen, but I wanted to make him one. I mean, why not, right? So I did the Turn a Square pattern by Jared Flood, and my husband's like me and he loves green. He likes more drab greens, like army greens and olive greens and stuff like that, and he likes grays. So I used Knit Picks tweed, Wool of the Andes tweed, which I love because it is soft. It's very soft tweed. It's great to knit with. So I used Flagstone Heather, which is the gray, and Dill Heather, which is the green. And I just followed the pattern as is. I used the same needle size, and I'll put it on. I'm going to totally mess my hair up, but I think it fits really nice. I like how long it is because I like my hats to hit my eyebrows. Or just about hit my eyebrows. So it has nice ear coverage. It fits good because I have a big head and thick hair. So I really like this pattern. And the thing is, I liked it so much, I knit it again. So I made another hat. And that's not for me. There's kind of a story behind this hat. So it's Thanksgiving. And I'm with my family and my cousin's there. And her boyfriend had to work. Well, they have a roommate because they can't afford to live in the city they live in without having a roommate. So their roommate is her boyfriend's best friend. Following me so far? So this best friend has like no family. Like his parents just like up and moved and didn't tell him, and he has nobody. I'm like, that breaks my heart. How could you do that? You just up and move and don't tell your kid. What's wrong with you? So, the only things he gets for Christmas are the things that my cousin and her boyfriend buy him. So, I'm like, crap. I'm like, okay, money's kind of tight on my end right now, and, I can't, like, go buy the poor guy something. I mean, he's like, what, 22, 23, something like that. But I'm like, I can make him a hat, right? I'm like, I just made the Turn the Square hat, and I loved it. So I asked my cousin, I'm like, okay, what colors does he like wear, or does he have a coat or something I can match it to? And she's like, he's a huge Ohio State fan. I'm like, okay, it's football, I know that much. Not a football fan here. So I'm like, oh, I think I have the perfect thing. So I went through my stash, and sure enough, I had some Cascade 220 because it has to be washable. I am not making something out of felting wool and sending it to an apartment full of 20-year-olds who have no idea how to hand wash. So I made him one. I'm like, I asked my husband, I'm like, it's not too like Where's Waldo-ish, is it? So I'm going to try it on. I'm like, my hair's clean. So once again, it fits so good. I love this pattern. Seriously. I love this pattern so much. I'm like, now I want to make myself a Turn of a Square hat, or Turn a Square. It's Turn a Square hat. I'm like, even if I make it solid, I think this fits great. The whole square thing. I love this hat. Totally want one of my own. So he'll get that for Christmas because he now spends the holidays with my family. So even though, like I said, my cousin's boyfriend had to work, I guess he was like unsure about coming to our families without his friend, his best friend. Although he came and spent last Thanksgiving and Christmas with our family. And she's like, oh, whatever, you're not staying home alone on Thanksgiving. So I made him a hat. I will see him at Christmas, and he will get it then. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving was really great. I spent it with the family. It was nice to have the kids and the husband home because my husband got Friday off as well. And we did go out Black Friday shopping. But it's so funny because I posted on Plurk. I said, I'm back from Black Friday shopping already, and it's not even Friday. So we just went to the Walmart, and because they'll price match, and there wasn't anything anywhere else that either was cheaper or that we needed, because there are 3 stores around here anyways that I avoid on Black Friday. Toys R Us, so not gonna happen. Kohl's, yeah, because you'll wait in line for 6 hours just to check out. And Target, because them people are crazy. Like I said, Walmart price matches everything. Okay, I was there for the $4 pajamas. That's what I was worried about getting, was $4 pajamas for my kids. Actually, I think they were $4.50 this year. But still, pajamas are expensive. You're going to shell out like $10 to $12 for a cheap pair of pajamas. So if I can get them for $4.50, I'm gonna. So, and then we just picked up, like, there were some board games that were on sale. There were some movies on sale. We got Brave, the Blu-ray DVD combo at Walmart for like $8.96. That's awesome. And it has both copies in it. So, we really didn't get a ton of stuff. I mean, we didn't. There was just a few things we went to get. It wasn't really crazy. It was busy, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, most of the sale stuff, like the pajamas, the crock pots, all that stuff started at 8, and we got there at 7. And so by 10 o'clock, okay, my daughter isn't going to see this because I got her a camera. I'm like, she's 13 now. She doesn't need a toy. So they had like $69 Nikon cameras. So we waited around till 10 o'clock for that, and that was a madhouse because of the way they had everything set up, but I got one. And I'm like, that was like the biggest purchase we made on Black Friday. Now, I was hoping, okay, so who was it? Best Buy had the complete Firefly series on DVD for $7.99. Well, Walmart didn't carry it, period, so I couldn't price match it, and I'm not going to Best Buy either. Them crazy people camp out. But I came home. We were home by, like I said, it was like 10:45, and we were home. And so a huge thank you to my sister-in-law for babysitting the kids. So we got home, and I got on Amazon. Amazon was price matching it, so there was something else that I could grab to get my free Super Saver shipping. Oh, and I got Firefly, the complete series. Now I know it's on Netflix, but you know, sometimes they take stuff off Netflix and then it's missing, and then I'll be like, oh no, I need a Firefly fix, and it's gone. Because we have broadcast. So that means we don't have cable. We don't have satellite. We have like NBC, ABC, Fox, CBS, PBS. That's about it. So, in the wake of everything, you know, there's the whole thing. My husband's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, I don't need anything for Christmas. I really don't. I'm like, I'm so not worried about getting anything for Christmas. I get enough stuff whenever. And so I was like, what do you want for Christmas? And he's like, well, I don't really want anything either. He's like, but you know, last year I asked for that Mexican wrestling mask, and I didn't get it. Really? Really? He's like, mm-hmm. He's like, you know how to knit. Like, really? So, I started, it's Work Straight that drives me nuts, but it's his, he has a Mexican wrestling mask. I hope that's not, like, offensive to anybody. But, you know, from, like, Nacho Libre, the mask, Jack, but it's Lucha Libre. So, this is from the Son of a Stitchin' Bitch book by Debbie Stoller. And it's knitted flat. Why would you make... It's like essentially a hat. It's like a ski mask with... it's... I am not happy about knitting this. Can you tell? See? This is not my idea of happy knitting. Not at all. So, there's not really anything else I can show you without... This page doesn't give anything away. So I'll cover up the part that does so you can see it better. But yeah, this is just... I'm not enjoying this. Nothing against the pattern. So far, the pattern's well written. It's just not what I want to knit, especially at Christmas time. I don't want to knit a wrestling mask at Christmas time. But he picked... Okay, so I was supposed to make this last year for Christmas, and I didn't. And he had already picked out the colors. So he wanted red, like really bright red, and green. So they're kind of Christmas colors. And I'm just like, why? Why? He thinks it'd be funny. That's why. So I am knitting this out of Vanna's Choice in Scarlet and Kelly Green. I guess I should show these. So it's cheap. And I warned him if he loses it, I'm not making another. Because this is not fun. I'm like, I will make you socks. I will knit you a vest. I will knit you whatever you want. Please don't make me knit this. So I did knit him the Turn a Square. He doesn't know I made him that. He didn't ask for it. But that made me feel better about making him something. Because I'm not making him something ridiculous. So I thought, since I'm working out of this book, I might review it. I have no yarny goodness this week whatsoever. I have yarn and fiber coming in the mail, and it'll all be here tomorrow and Friday. So, I did no spinning, because I'm waiting to spin the fiber that's coming. So I have no enabling, no spinning. So I thought, okay, I'd review this book, because I've had it for years. I believe it came out in 2007. Yes, I have a first printing. October 2007. I don't think I bought this book until sometime early 2009. So I've had it almost 4 years. Minimum 3.5 for good measure. Almost 4. And it's for guys. Like I said, it's Son of a Stitchin' Bitch. You know what? I've had this longer than that. I was thinking, okay, we've moved in the last 4.5 years. So, okay, it says projects to knit and crochet for men. That's why I bought it before I started knitting. Because I'm thinking, no, I had this book before we lived in this house. There's not as many crochet patterns as there are knitting. And back then, that totally annoyed the crud out of me. Now I don't care. Because I do both. But at the time, I was only crocheting. And I thought, okay, you know, it's stuff for men, right? I have a man. I don't know. My husband, look, I don't think we're old people. I don't, you know, maybe we're just not trendy enough for this book. Maybe that's it. We don't live somewhere trendy enough. One of the things that I really, really liked in this book that I want to actually make for myself, because I don't know that my husband would want one, It's called Uncle Argyle scarves, and they are double knit scarves. So the pattern will be on the front and the back, and opposite. So here are some gentlemen wearing the scarves. And shoot, I have something to cover the chart, because this is the best picture. Of course they put the chart under it to show what the back and the front look like. Hopefully I'm catching that on the camera. There we go. So you can see it's black with green argyle on one side and green with black argyle on the other side. So that I really like, because I love argyle. Argyle is like my favorite pattern. You know, there's a basic ski beanie, as they're calling it. You know, simple, basic. I feel like I'm saying again. Then you have the Naughty Nice scarf, which is like one of those optical illusion things. Like when you're looking at it straight on, it's one way, but when you're looking at it like on an angle, you see a picture, and it's a girl on a pole. Yeah, I'm not knitting one of those for my husband. I have children. Like I said, maybe we're just too old. I mean, like, there's a really good picture here, but there's the chart right above it, and it is a huge chart. There's the beer gloves. There's nothing giving away the pattern here. Those are okay. I mean, they're definitely masculine. I don't know that my husband likes the idea of fingerless gloves. And they're definitely gloves. They're not fingerless mitts. They have little finger holes. But I like the pattern. I think, like I said, they look nice and manly. There's the roll-up scarves. I don't know, maybe for a younger guy, but those just seem slightly juvenile to me. And then the sushi looking one, you can find free online all over the place. Knit and crochet ones. But then we get into stuff that like my husband would never wear. Like the Anchors Away vest. Yeah, not happening. Not happening at all. Now the one that he did like, this isn't giving anything away. It's called the High Top Hoodie. Oop, I lost my bookmarker. And it's like a jersey, like where it's one color until the sleeves and then another color for the sleeves, and it has a hood as well. That was one thing that we both liked out of there. And then it's so funny because we saw these, and these are the little plastic things that go in the center of 45s to like make them fit on a record player. I can't remember what they're called. There's a name for them, and it totally escapes me. And we were just talking, we're like, yeah, probably younger people probably don't even know what those are. But we like that. Although, I'm not a color work knitter, so I will never make it for him. Be like, I like him, but not that much. No. Okay. It's supposed to, I assume, it looks like the sweater that Ernie from Sesame Street wears. Yeah, my husband wouldn't be caught dead in this. I'm sorry. He'd be like, you've got to be kidding me. One thing my husband loved, because he is a big nerd, but he says it didn't look like it fit very well. And it could just be the model. And he said he would want it solid and not striped. And that is the Retropolitan cardigan. And there was one other thing that was just like, let's see if I can find it. Oh, I loved this because I love messenger bags. And it is a felted messenger bag with a cassette on it. I love that. I think that's super cool. I mean, there's so many other things in here that are just totally not our style. Like I said, you know, maybe a younger generation. Like I said, the wrestling masks, I'm not a fan of. He loves them. And then I'm like, I don't know. I'm a toy maker and all, but this is just disturbing. It's a teddy bear with a bee coming out of its gut. I'm like, really? I don't know. My husband wouldn't want that. Even when he was younger. He's never a stuffed animal person. Excuse me. Had a hiccup. So, I don't know. Son of a... I guess I better tell you how much it retails for. It originally retails for $15.95. I got this on Amazon. They had like a clearance on it or something. And I think I paid like $4.99 or something for it. But I got on and I checked Amazon earlier today. And they have it for $10. So... you know, there's lots of sweaters. Some stuff I just don't honestly see a guy wearing. Okay, I'll show you this one too. This was, I think, the other one. I skipped over it that I was thinking of. It's called Mr. Stripey. And it is a striped sweater, but it's just like this bright lime green and orange and then a burnt orange. And I just don't see a guy wearing that. Something that bright and colorful. So to me, a lot of the patterns are hit or miss. There are probably a handful of patterns. It says 45 projects to knit and crochet for men. There are maybe 5 projects I would knit out of this. Since I paid pretty much $5 for the book, to me it's worth it mainly because I want to make that Argyle scarf. And then I'm making the stupid wrestling mask for my husband, and he thinks that's worth $5 too. I don't know that I'd pay $10 for it because the only thing I would make is the scarf. Like I said, there are some sweaters that I would consider making, but overall the book is kind of something I could pass on. There's just not enough in it to really make it worth it because I might not ever knit that scarf, who knows. It's like the same X amount of rows just over and over, and I'm afraid by the time I made a whole scarf of it, I would be like bored to death. But like I said, there's stuff that's trendier in there, guy oriented. I just think if you really want a book that is for guys, that I think more guys would like more of the patterns in it, and it's the book Knits Men Want. I reviewed that way back when I first started podcasting, probably within the first couple months. And that one, my husband liked pretty much every single thing in it. So I would go for that instead of this. But, you know, I guess it all depends on what kind of guy you're knitting for. Now, the part of the book that I really did enjoy is there is a section, you know, because she kind of has like, you know, intros to the book. But then there's kind of like a history lesson. It's Men in Knits, the first 800 years. And it talks about knits that men wore and knitted and, you know, like when it was time to knit socks for the war effort. And so I enjoy stuff like that because I enjoy history-oriented stuff. So, I guess my biggest suggestion for you is if you were on the fence of whether you would really like this book or not, you can always go on Ravelry and look at all the patterns that come in the book. Or, what even better, you can go to your local library and see if they have a copy, or like our library borrows from other libraries, so you can see if they can get it in if they don't have it on their shelves. And give it a look over before you spend the anywhere between $10 and $15.95 for the book. So, wow, that's it. I'm like, I feel like kind of lost, but I guess we can talk about knit-alongs real quick. So, knit-alongs, they're moving along. I'm so excited. The season of Giving Knit-along has quite a few entries. the Christmas favorites. Ooh. Okay, I think it's gonna pass. I thought I was gonna sneeze. The Christmas favorites knit along is getting entries in it as well. And once again, I forgot to bring my little ornaments because they're on the tree now. Our Christmas tree is up, and the hand knit ornament tree is up year round in the dining room. But the deal is, my husband's like, I don't care if you leave it up because we really don't have anywhere to store it because it's one piece. He's like, I don't care if you leave it up, but you're not allowed to light it up at any time besides Christmas. So that was our compromise. So that tree's all lit up now and has all my hand knit ornaments that were gifted to me or that I got in a swap or that I made myself. And, but it's awesome. It's so fun to look on a tree and to see hand knit ornaments, and they're my favorites. Out of all the ornaments that we have, it's my favorite. And then we have the big Christmas tree, and it has a hodgepodge of stuff. We don't do like a theme or anything like that. So, get those in. You have until the end of the year. I believe you have until the 31st of December. So, I will lock the thread then, and prizes. If anyone wants to donate a prize, I would be ever so grateful. Let's see. I might, if I don't get any prizes donated, I might try to whip up some little small sock project bags. I might have some yarn, a skein of yarn for one of them. And other than that, I'll probably just give out patterns because it's that time of year where money's super tight. And, so, that's how that'll roll. Like I said, that's it. I wish I had more to tell you this week, but last week was really long and this week isn't too long, and so I guess that works out. So, because we're all busy right now, it's that time of year. Like I said, we're all trying to knit like crazy and get projects done and Christmas gifts done and all the other wonderful things that we like to do, because there is never enough time in the day. So, that is it for me this week. I am Jenna, also known as Retro Lemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest. You can find me through any of those. Contact me if you need to. I try to get back to everybody within 24 hours. I'm not as active on the boards in the evenings as I am in the mornings. So mornings are better to contact me if you want a super quick response. So, until then, I will see you next week.